Hey, this is Nev Lapwood from Snowboard Addiction. We're up here at Whistler Blackcomb today. We're riding the park. This video is all about park etiquette. What to do and what not to do in the park to stay safe and have fun. Terrain parks are a place where a lot of injuries happen. You know, when you're learning to snowboard, you crash. So you want to protect yourself and stay as safe as possible. The one that's necessary is the helmet. Chuck your helmet on. When you're learning new stuff, it's just going to make it so much less consequential if you crash. Other things you can use if you want. Some people use the back protectors. Some people use the impact shorts, knee pads, wrist guards. Use whatever you feel comfortable riding with, but this is always the good first choice. So when you come to a park, at the top you're usually going to find some signage. This tends to explain kind of the size of the features you're going to find in the park. You'll see here, going off to the left, you've got smaller features. Going off to the right, M stands for medium. Now most of the resorts in North America use this type of signage with the orange signs. Now, just because you may have hit a large feature before, doesn't mean you can hit a large feature today. The features can change all the time, so it's very important that you check them out yourself. This signage will give you some type of indication as to the size of the features. One of the first things you want to do when riding the park is check out the features. So your first run through of the day should be pretty mellow. If you've never rode this particular park, you might not want to hit any features on your first run, and check out the size, check out the gaps between each rail, check out the distance of the jumps between where you take off to where that knuckle is and where you get into the landing. If you rode this park yesterday, then a checkout run could be just doing straight airs, grabs, maybe 180s, 360s. It's all about doing it at your level, at a super comfy zone where you're not going to be taking crashes. You don't want to be falling on your first run. You want to get into the zone by having a solid run of stomped landings, fun times. Two other things you want to watch out for. If there's people working in the park, shaping the jumps, don't go and hit that feature. Avoid it, move on, just let them take their time. You know, they're up there doing a job. And if you see guys out in the park filming, give them a little bit of space. Try not to ride through their shots. Just give them a bit of room. It's great to film yourself riding because then you get to see what it looks like and use that to improve yourself. When the park's busy, it's a good idea to signal that you're dropping to let other riders know so you don't end up colliding or going at the same time. There's a few basic ways you can signal to other riders. This is very universal. It means open or dropping. It means you're about to go. Another way of doing it is just if there's a bunch of people around, just say dropping next, letting people know. You can also just do a little signal like with your hand. Just put your hand up, let people know you're going next. It doesn't need to be ridiculous or loud. Dropping! 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 And if there's no one else around, you don't have to do this. The places you choose to start and stop in the terrain park can be critical for safety. You always want to stop in an area that's away from any of the features that people might be hitting. This jump, for example, has about 25 feet in length. If you choose to stop or sit anywhere under the knuckle, the people up above you cannot see you at all. They have no idea you're there. They could launch off that jump and hit you. I've seen it happen. It's not pretty. A good place to stop is right off the side here, like off the side of the jump. I'm not in anyone's way. I can see the drop-ins, I can see the takeoffs, and it's very safe. If you see someone up at the knuckle giving an X, that means that person's in the landing, they've crashed. Don't hit that jump. If you see someone who's crashed, give that X so you can stop other people from hitting it. Now another thing you can do is unstrap your board and put it across the lip of the jump or the start of the rail feature so that nobody goes in and hits that while someone's down. If you take a crash on a jump in the park, it's really important to get up and out of the way as quick as you can. Being underneath the lip of a jump in what's called a blind zone is the worst place you can possibly sit because the people above you cannot see you. Now, if you crash and let's say your goggles fell off your head, you need to hike back up and get your goggles, go to the side of the jump, go up to the top and just communicate to the people that you've got to go and get that because otherwise they have no idea and it could really hurt having someone come down on top of you. When you're hitting features, you want to give people their space. Someone drops it in front of you, just give enough room that you know they're safe and you're not going to smash into them. The other thing you want to watch out for is people snaking you. If you give too much space, people are going to cut in front of you and get annoyed with waiting too long. If the park's busy, you've got to keep that flow moving. So let's say there's like 4 or 5 guys waiting to hit a feature and then somebody comes and cuts it in front of you. That's annoying. Nobody likes that. You leave too big of gaps, people are going to snake you. If there's a lot of features that are sequential, one after another, where you can kind of keep your speed and hit 1, 2, 3, if you're going to stop between those features, pull out of the way so you're not cutting other riders off. Let them flow through. That's how people like to ride their park. So when you come to a jump and you're not really sure about what speed to take, there's a few different techniques you can use to help gauge your speed. One thing you can do is you can ride past the jump and just ollie off the knuckle and feel if you think that's going to be fast enough. Another technique I use is watching other people. So see them drop in. Where do they drop from? Are they dropping straight? Are they doing a few sit-up carves? Did they knuckle the jump or did they clear it? Were they too fast? Gauge your speed on kind of how quick they're going. Normally you don't want to drop in right behind someone. You want to give them their space in case they fall. However, if it's someone you know, it's okay to ask them, hey, mind if I drop in behind you? Then you can actually follow their speed and gauge how fast you're going by how fast they're going. It's a really good way to be able to clear that jump in the morning when you're not sure of the speed. Riding the terrain park can be one of the funnest things in snowboarding. You get to ride with all your buddies doing sunny park laps. Chuck a helmet on, check out the park, do a warm-up run, be comfortable on the features before you try new tricks. Pay attention to all the other people in the park. Call your drop-ins. Have fun out there riding the park. This is Nev Lapwood from Snowboard Addiction. Our goal is to improve your riding.